Hello there and welcome to the first episode of Ishigo. So in the last episode we actually created the map and this is gonna be the official first episode of Ishigo, and what we're going to do today is we're gonna build a nice looking power plant, and not just any power plant. We're gonna build a nuclear power plant because our entire map needs power, and of course the city of Ishigo needs power. That's by the way not the name, but yeah, it actually needs power, and we're just gonna start building our nuclear power plant. You already see me start building the power plant. And yeah, basically what it is it's a little bit of a recreation of the destroyed power plant, or of the destroyed nuclear power plant of Fukushima. You might be wondering why I'm actually trying to recreate the destroyed nuclear power plant of Fukushima. And let me be very clear about this. I'm not trying to recreate it. I was inspired by the build before it was destroyed. It looked really nice. I looked up some pictures from before the earthquake. And I just got inspired because of the fact that we are building on an inspired Japanese map. So I also was inspired to do something Japanese-like at our power situation, basically. Because in Japan, like 40% of the power, I think, is generated from nuclear power plants, or at least before the 2011 earthquake. But I don't know, after that, I think it's like 30% right now, and that's still a huge amount. Like, our power generation of this entire build generates enough to probably fulfill like the power needs of maybe 10 normal sized cities. Like, if you build a normal sized city in the game, you will probably have enough, or maybe even like 5 complete maps with like normal builds with like a couple of cities, a couple of even like villages and stuff. It is enough to be to get power from this power plant, basically, because it will generate, I think, even like close to 10,000 megawatts, and that's if you put it like on the 150% of budget. But still, if you let it be on 100%, it still generates like 7,000 megawatts, and that's a lot. That's really a lot for like a nuclear power plant, and for city skylines in general with like the power consumption. So the nuclear power plant is gonna be one of the biggest builds inside of Ishigo because of its sheer size. It got like 2 cooling towers, it got like 4 nuclear reactors, and it got a huge area to cover. So it's gonna be one of the biggest builds inside of Ishigo. Let's talk a little bit about the nuclear reactors of the Ishigo power plant. On the Ishigo power plant, we've got 4 nuclear reactors, and basically these things make power, and these things will actually make lots and lots of people happy in the city, because without power you've like got major problems, and that's not good actually. You don't want that. It's getting cooled with lots and lots of AC. We even got like water cooling, and it sounds a little bit like I am talking about a computer, but if you have heating parts, it needs to be cooled. Computers and nuclear power plants in this example, they're pretty much the same. You need to get them cooled, otherwise they will overheat. And for like computers and for like nuclear power plants, that is really bad if stuff overheats, or if stuff overheats in general, that's really bad. So what we got going on is 2 cooling towers and lots of smaller ACs, so everything is nice and cool and it doesn't get too toasty. So let's talk a little bit about the cooling of this nuclear power plant. In front of the nuclear reactors we got a key, and this key is very special because of the fact that we got like 6 small pipes going out of it and 3 bigger pipes. And those pipes are actually to make sure that the warmed water, because of the fact that we got like nuclear fusion, the water will heat up, and then we need to get rid of the warmer water to make sure everything is cooled properly. So with those pipes we actually get rid of the warm water, and the warm water will actually go into the ocean. In the beginning of this video you saw me build some sort of a dam with like a bridge attached to it going back to the nuclear power plant. If you go look at the Fukushima power plant, it actually got like the same thing, but I have no clue what it's used for. Like that small little dam in front of the power plant, I have no clue if it's like aesthetics or if it's actually used for anything. My guess is that they use it to actually keep contaminated water, that it doesn't leak into the ocean. But that's my best guess, and I don't know if that's true or anything, but it really looks cool. Like aesthetic wise, it looks really nice, especially like on the build we're building right now. It looks really nice. You can actually see it in the cinematics, at the end cinematics, in the end of the video, you can actually see it. and it just looks freaking awesome. But if you guys have any clue about that little dam area, what I've built and what the Fukushima power plant has built really far in the past, if it has any function or if it is just pure aesthetics, let me know in the comments down below, because I would love to know something like that. Yeah, I will actually try and look it up, but I cannot promise if I will find it. But yeah, once again, let me know in the comments down below if you know anything about it. What is really awesome about this build are like the cooling towers. You will see them in like a couple of minutes. I think 4 or maybe 5 minutes. I will actually place 2 of them, and cooling towers are there to actually make sure like the nuclear reactors don't overheat, because if that happens you will have a nuclear meltdown, and that's really bad basically. But those cooling towers I'm about to place are massive, but they're also looking really nice. Whoever designed those, I will put a link down in the description down below to actually go to the page where you can download it, and you will get like the whole package. You get like the nuclear power plant, you get like the nuclear reactors, you got like some cooling installation stuff, even some pipes and some other things, and it is just crazy. And it's a really nice package. I highly recommend downloading it because it's a great asset to have. Anyway, those cooling towers are placed on a hill because it actually looks more dramatic that way, and also looks a lot better, especially if you have like a little bit of a height elevation. It already makes builds look a lot better, especially with like larger builds. If you have a little bit of height elevation, yeah, stuff will pop a little bit and it just looks a lot better. What I have placed down next to the cooling towers is a small little bunker, so they can actually store like their uranium and stuff. And it's placed in a pit because we already got that height difference. We got like a little bit higher cooling towers, and then we got like in the pit we got like a small little bunker where they can actually store like the uranium and some other nuclear waste or anything like that. So it also looks a lot more interesting if you use like height elevation, like I said earlier. And I'm just trying to use that in my advantage to build this nuclear power plant. And overall it turned out okay, because we got like a couple of height elevations close to like the cooling towers and the bunker, and it just gives that a little bit more of uniqueness of this build that is different than a plain looking build. One thing that I haven't talked about is the distribution centers and the offices. So actually let's get started with that. On the vicinity of the nuclear power plant, we've got 2 distribution centers and a couple of offices. We've got one large distribution center and a smaller distribution center as well, with a train track. Let's actually get started with the first one, the largest distribution center. That one is a little bit special because of the fact that, you will see it in a little bit, I've placed it down on an angle of like 40 degrees. And then I placed a couple of offices inside of the distribution center. So it looks like the offices and the distribution center are fused into one giant build. And overall it just looks freaking awesome. I like it a lot, especially with like the parking ground in front of it. It just looks freaking amazing. It's like one of my favorite builds inside of this nuclear power plant is that distribution center with the offices inside. Then we've got like a separate office as well, and that's just because Jim from accounting has a place to store his stuff. And also we got like the director of the factory having an office over there. The second distribution center is a little bit smaller than the first one, but one benefit of it actually got a train connection, so trains will actually pull up over there and unload their stuff, and that's really useful if you want to move like uranium and stuff. And that's basically like the distribution centers and offices inside of the vicinity. And the reason we actually got like these distribution centers, I already spoiled it a little bit, is because we need to move the uranium, or we actually need to get uranium from the outside world, so the nuclear power plant itself will keep functioning. The smaller distribution center will actually keep getting supplies from uranium, so the nuclear power plant stays operational. And because of the fact that the nuclear power plant is operational, the larger distribution center can also kick in and actually ship product out, because uranium is not only used inside of the nuclear power plant to make power, it is also used in like cancer treatments and chemo and stuff. And that's pretty important to actually get the uranium out to hospitals, and that's why the larger distribution center is in place. So it actually makes sure that uranium is shipped to different hospitals in like the city itself, or like the other cities. So basically that's why we got like those two distribution centers and then the offices to keep everything coordinated. And yeah, that's pretty much it. One thing that I probably should mention is that the entire facility is fenced off. There's only one way in and one way out, and the police is patrolling the area just to make sure everything is safe and everything is fine. And that will actually conclude everything for today's build. On a final note of this commentary, I will actually talk a little bit about the Mass Transit DLC that is dropped a couple of weeks ago. When I'm actually recording this, not the gameplay but the post-editing process, it has been a couple of weeks that the DLC is out. And one thing that actually struck me was I just had like a couple of issues when the mod or when the DLC actually came out. Like day one the DLC came out, I had problems with mods, assets and other things, but 2 days later everything was fixed. And that was actually crazy to me, that mod support, unofficial mod support, not supported by the game developer, the same goes for assets, not supported by the game developer. It's like this, and people actually update their mods, people update their assets, so it's compatible with the newest DLCs, it's compatible with everything. And that is just crazy to me, what an active community City Skylines is. A massive shout out to yourself, to the viewers, to the mod makers, to the assets makers. You guys are awesome. Like, DLC comes out, 2 days later everything's back to normal with like new DLCs or new mods being added, new assets being added for new DLCs, for the Mass Transit DLC or for After Dark DLC or for just a plain vanilla game. It is just crazy what an active community we as City Skyline people have. The same goes for YouTubers like myself, like other people, viewers of course. A massive shout out to you all, and this is just a little bit of a rant, but in a good way, because of the fact that it is crazy what a mod support and what an asset support or community gives this game. That is crazy to me. I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will play a little bit of music until the video ends, and I'll see you guys at the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching, and let's cue up the music. Right now the power plant is built, I'm finishing up a couple of last details, and right now what you can see are also a couple of cinematics on screen. During these cinematics you can actually see what we've built, the nuclear power plant, the reactors, the cooling towers, and even the distribution centers you can see passing by with lots and lots of activities, and also lots and lots of details from parking spots to nice looking nature inside and outside of the vicinity. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more content, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Take care and goodbye.